Blessings to all of you. Welcome to another program of Aloka Dhamma discussion. As all of you are aware, the objective of this program is to discuss and explain how practically can we use the teachings of Buddhism into our daily life to make ourselves successful and to make ourselves happy. As always, today also we have in our studio Venerable Sandalanka Kalana Dasana Thero and Venerable Gampasumana Thero on behalf of JAYA Media Network and Malasekara Foundation. With great gratitude, I welcome both of you, sirs. Last week we discussed about the importance of learning from our mistakes, but as individual in practice we usually do the total opposite thing. When something goes wrong, the first thing what we would always do is trying to find out a variable which we don't have a control over, or a mistake somebody else had done which has caused the issue. We do not start finding the mistakes what we have made which has made this issue. The reason, because finding the mistakes of others is the easiest thing for us to do, because it comforts ourselves and make us feel less guilty. It allows us to blame somebody else other than us. Venerable Sandalanka Kalana Dasana Thero, sir, what is the advice Buddhist philosophy has given about this issue?
With respect to Gampa Sumanwansa Thero, Mr. Karagala and dear devotees, when you asked me this question, a certain incident I have heard came to my mind. I got to know that a particular man went to a party and he got drunk. And after the party, he drove home drunk in his office vehicle. On his way, he crashed into a bike and killed the driver and also disabled the driver's elder sister who was sitting on the back. After the incident, someone visited the drunk driver and asked about the incident. There he apparently said, "This was something that I was destined for and something that I could not have avoided." Now let's take a close look at this incident. At the first place, something that we need to know is that the driver was drunk, so he shouldn't have been driving in the first place. The next thing is that the vehicle didn't belong to him either. It belonged to his company. So he should have been even more careful. But dear devotees, instead of repenting or regretting his action, he blamed it on his fate or destiny. So I would like to ask all of you, if you never repent or regret your mistakes and always blame it on others, will you ever be able to correct yourself? No, you will keep doing that wrongful act again and again. Mr. Karagala, in the Ambalattika Rahulovada Sutta, which is given in the Majjhima Nikaya, the middle length discourses, the Lord Buddha has preached, "Tang kimmanyasi Rahula kimattiyo adasoti." Meaning is, Rahula, what is the purpose of a mirror? There Rahula Thero replied, "Bante paccha vekkanatto banteti." Bante, it is for the purpose of looking at yourself. Then the Lord Buddha said, "Eva meva ko Rahula paccha vekkitva kayena kammang katabba. Paccha vekkitva vachaya kammang katabba. Paccha vekkitva manasa kammang katabba." Rahula, when you are doing something physically, verbally or mentally, you should check whether it is harmful to you or to others or to both you and others. Here the Lord Buddha also advised Rahula Thero that there are 3 instances where you need to look at yourself. And that is before doing something, while doing something, and after doing something. Especially the 3rd instance is more relevant to our topic. Let's take the same example. The drunk driver, before getting in the driver's seat, he could have examined himself and thought to himself, right now I am drunk and I should not be driving in this state. If he thought this and didn't drive, the respective incidents wouldn't have happened, and 2 valuable lives could have been saved. This is the first instance. The second instance is, even while driving, if he remembered that he shouldn't be driving, then also the respective incidents could have been stopped. And lastly, even after everything had happened, he still didn't want to acknowledge his mistakes and blamed it on his fate. Mr. Karagala, finally, I would like to say that if someone fails to acknowledge their mistakes, then it will definitely lead to his downfall.
So, Venerable Sandalanka Kallandasana Thero explained about the importance of learning the art of accepting our own mistakes and not searching for the things which we cannot control, which has caused our mistakes, and most importantly, blaming the destiny. When we stop doing these 3 things, it will give us ample time to search inside and find the mistakes we have made which has impacted us negatively. So, Venerable Sumanasa Thero, sir, what is the advice given in Buddhism about the importance of looking for and finding our own mistakes?
With respect to Venerable Sandalanka Kallandasana Thero, Mr. Karagala and dear devotees, everyone has one special talent. What is that talent? It is the talent in giving advice to correct others' mistakes. But in the past, those who have won the battle with their defilements has always given advices to themselves so that they can correct their own mistakes instead of trying to correct others first. There are beautiful verses in the Kuddaka Nikaya Theragatha that explains this fact. These verses were preached by Thalaputta Arahant after attaining enlightenment. When he was practicing meditation to attain Nibbana, he became discouraged, and there he found out that he had made a mistake in his path. After realizing this, he advised himself as follows: Bahuni vassani tayamhi yachito agara vasena alang te idang tanda nimang pabbajitang samanang kinkarana chitta twang na yujjasi. The Arahant Thalaputta said, "Hey mind, how many years have you waited to receive this ordination? How much did you bother me in achieving this monkhood? Well, I became a monk just as you wished. But after all this, why are you discouraging me when I am trying to meditate? Kulam hi mitte cha piye cha nyatake kiddaratin kama gunancha loke sabbam pahaya ima majja pagato atopitwan chittana maiha tussasi." Then again Arahant Thalaputta said, "Hey mind, I abandoned all my belongings, all my friends, all entertainments that brought me happiness, and all my worldly desires. But now, why are you making me unhappy in my journey to attain Nibbana?" Mr. Karagala, to be honest, it isn't really a surprise that the Arahants of the past advised themselves to correct their mistakes, because when we search deeper into the core of Buddhism, we can find out that it always tells us to examine ourselves before examining others. For an example, in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, it is stated, Iti ajjattang va kaye kayanupassī viharati, which means when practicing the foulness of the body meditation, so-called kayanupassana, first you must examine your own body, and after that it is said, Bahiddhava kaye kayanupassī viharati, which means only after examining your own body thoroughly should you start to practice the foulness of body meditation on others. And another example is the loving kindness meditation, in Pali Maitri meditation. Here also it is said that before spreading loving kindness to others, first you must show loving kindness to yourself. Dear devotees, so lastly I invite all of you to turn to yourself first and correct your own mistakes instead of blaming others for your own wrongdoings. And when you correct yourself first, only then will you be able to show the path so that others can correct themselves.
So it's very clear that when you are trying to find out others' mistake for your setback, you will waste your time and energy in doing that, and because of that you will definitely not have time to find your own mistakes. If you don't know your mistakes, you cannot correct those, and if you cannot correct your mistakes, you will continue to repeat those mistakes, and finding our mistake because of that is definite starting point of our development and our progress towards our success. And I would like to take a different topic, as in the current management practice we've been taught to do a SWOT analysis, that is to understand our strengths, weaknesses, our opportunities and threats, and we always in our business life, corporate life and in our personal life we always do the SWOT. But unfortunate thing is, when we do the SWOT analysis, we always believe that we have limitless and boundaryless skills and the strengths. But unfortunately, there are limitations. The truth is, how much you have learned, you will never be perfect and you will have limitations. Venerable Kalyanadasana Thero, so what is Buddhism telling us about this concept, about knowing and being aware of our limits and the limitations?
Well, Mr. Karagala, in the Anguttara Nikaya Navaka Nipata, it is stated, before a permanent attendant was appointed to the Lord Buddha, several monks looked after the Lord Buddha from time to time. One such monk was the Bhikkhu Meghiya. One day, Bhikkhu Meghiya saw a beautiful mango forest, mango grove, near Kimikala river. There he thought, this is the most appropriate location for me to practice meditation. After thinking that, he approached the Lord Buddha and said, Lord Buddha, can you give me permission? I would like to go and practice meditation to achieve enlightenment at the mango grove near Kimikala river. Then the Lord Buddha replied, Meghiya, if you leave to the mango grove, there will be no one to look after me. So wait until another bhikkhu is appointed to be my attendant. Then you can leave. After this, Bhikkhu Meghiya said, Lord Buddha, you have done everything that needs to be done. So there is nothing left for you to achieve. But Lord Buddha, there are still things that I couldn't fulfill, and there is so much left for me to achieve. So if Lord Buddha gives me permission, I would like to go to the mango grove and strive to achieve those which I could not. Again, the Lord Buddha gave the same reply. Then for the third time, Bhikkhu Meghiya asked this question. There the Lord Buddha said, Megir, since you speak of striving, what can I say to you? You may go at your own convenience. After hearing this, Bhikkhu Megir paid respect to the Lord Buddha and left to the mangrove grove. Upon arriving, he found a suitable place and sat down to start meditating. And while he was meditating, 3 kinds of unwholesome thoughts overwhelmed his mind. Thoughts related to sensual desire, ill will, and harming others. There he was surprised and thought, even though I am someone who went forth with a deep faith for the dispensation, why are such evil thoughts related to sensual desires, ill will, and harming others arising in my mind? Only then he felt that the Lord Buddha prevented him from going to the mango grove for a reason. So he went back to the Blessed One and said, Lord Buddha, while I was trying to meditate, I couldn't help my mind from being polluted with evil thoughts related to sensual desires, ill will, and harming others. Lord Buddha, what is the reason for this? Then the Lord Buddha preached, Aparipakkaya megiya cheto vimuttiya pancha dhamma paripakkaya sangvattanti katame pancha. Megiya, when liberation of mind has not matured, 5 things lead to its maturation. What 5? First one, noble friends, kalyana mitto hoti. Second one is being virtuous, silava hoti. Next one, only talking about things that should be talked about. In Pali, yayang kata abhisallekika. Next one is given as having right effort for abandoning unwholesome qualities and acquiring wholesome qualities. Aradha viriyo viharati. Last one, should develop his wisdom. Panyava hoti. Dear devotees, from this, you should be able to understand that you need to know your limits and capabilities. But it doesn't mean to entrap yourself in your limits, because according to Buddhism, you can expand your limits and boost your competencies. Just as Bhikkhu Megir used these 5 qualities and achieved enlightenment.
Well, it is very clear that when we clearly understand our limitations, that is weaknesses, and our competencies, that is strengths, the both, it will be very easy for us to set our goals. Again, if I go back to the modern management teaching, in modern management, we've been taught to set SMART goals, that is simple, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. One of the biggest issues most of us having in setting the goals is, without understanding our strengths, which is our capabilities, we are trying to set our goals. When we try to do that, it will make us to set unattainable and irrational goals, and at the end it will drive us towards unhappiness and dissatisfaction. Venerable Gampa Sumanawansa Thero, sir, how Buddhism advising us to set the right and realistic and rational goals for ourselves?
Mr. Karagala, it is good to have a high level goal, but first we need to have the necessary background in order to reach that goal. If we do not have the necessary background, it will limit us or prevent us in achieving our goal. Dear devotees, when we are setting our goal, we need to make sure it is something achievable. One of the best examples for this is the story of Mahabodhisattva. When he was discovering the path to attain enlightenment, at one time he made a pledge like this: even if my skin, blood, flesh bones and veins of this body are dry and crumbling, I will not give up the effort until I attain Buddhahood. Dear devotees, suppose someone wanted to attain Buddhahood, went to the same place with the same goal. But will he be able to attain Buddhahood? No, he can't, because he doesn't have the necessary competency. So we need to know our weaknesses, limits, and competencies when we are setting and trying to achieve our goal. Mr. Karagala, another story is the story of Devadatta Thero. He wanted to become a Buddha no matter what he had to do. For this, he even tried to kill the Lord Buddha. Once, when the Blessed One was traveling, Devadatta Thero pushed a massive rock at the Lord Buddha with the objective of killing him. And again, Devadatta Thero rose the tusker Nalagiri and sent the tusker towards the Lord Buddha and tried to kill him again as well. In this manner, he tried multiple methods and tried to kill the Blessed One in order to achieve Buddhahood. Dear devotees, something that we need to know is that in order to achieve a goal, we need to go step by step. Trying to take a shortcut or taking unnecessary paths will only lead to your own suffering. Just like when Devadatta Thero took an unnecessary path to achieve his goal of attaining Buddhahood by trying to kill the Lord Buddha, many people nowadays take unnecessary paths as well. For example, some people try and become successful by selling drugs or intoxicants. And some people try and become famous by uploading unnecessary photos or videos to social media. In this manner, instead of using their own effort and capabilities, they use shortcuts and unnecessary paths, which will only lead to their own suffering and failure.
So, as we discussed, it is important to understand our weakness and learn from our weakness and move forward in our life through those learnings. But that alone would not make us a successful person and a successful leader. We should master some skills if we want to be successful in our lives and if we want to become a leader. Venerable Kalandasana Thero is Buddhism teaching about the importance of a mastery of a skill or a craftsmanship.
Mr. Karagala and dear devotees, whether you are a monk or a lay person, to live in this world, we need some sort of skill in craftsmanship. That's why Lord Buddha preached this verse in Mahamangala Sutta in the Kuddaka Nikaya, Bahu Satchancha Sippancha Vinayocha Susikkito. The meaning is to have much learning and to be skillful in handicraft are two of the many blessings. Dear devotees, here the Lord Buddha has specially highlighted that being skillful in handicraft or craftsmanship is one of the greatest blessings. The skills that monks need and the skills that lay people need are explained in commentaries. For monks, the skills needed are to prepare the robes and associated works such as sewing the robes and coloring the robes. Another skill a monk needs is to prepare the alms bowl and the other requisites. Dear devotees, a monk is living in the forest. A monk who lives in the forest has to do everything by himself. He can't go to the supermarket or convenience store to get his supplies because according to the code of discipline. So he has to be skilled in various professions so that he can practice meditation in peace and comfort. Dear devotees, for lay people, it is said the skills you should develop not cause harm to others and should not be unwholesome. For example, skills such as making jewelry or making pots, pottery, agriculture and textile works, and at present the automobile industries, which is also can be considered the skill that a layperson should develop. But mere learning a specific craft is not enough. You need to master that specific skill. It is stated that being a master craftsman is a great blessing. You see, Mr. Karagala, Prince Siddhartha was a master in all the skills that a prince should possess. And he had to show his skills in order to get the hand of Princess Yasodhara. Not only before attaining enlightenment, but even after attaining it, Lord Buddha used his knowledge of crafts in order to explain his teachings. A good example for this is the Kesi Sutta, which can be found in Anguttara Nikaya. There Lord Buddha uses the knowledge of taming horses to deliver the Dhamma to that Kesi cat who can understand his teachings and tame his own mind. Another example can be found in the Mahagopalaka Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya Mula Pannasaka. Here also Lord Buddha used his mastered knowledge in looking after cows, so-called being an excellent shepherd, in order to explain it in a way so that the bhikkhus could understand. Here Lord Buddha explained that to be an excellent shepherd, one needs 11 skills. The third example I would like to give is the Sutta Kasi Bharadwaja. Here also the Blessed One used his mastered knowledge about cultivating so that the farmer Kasi Bharadwaja could easily understand his teachings and attain enlightenment. Dear devotees, now it is clear, whatever the profession or the career you are involved in, you should have mastered skills or craftsmanship in order to become successful. But you see, in order to become a wise leader, you should master multiple professions.
So, well, it's very clear, as Venerable Kalandasana Thero explained, mere learning is not good enough. It is necessary to master a skill, but fortunately or unfortunately, not only one skill, the multiple skills has to be mastered. When you master such skills, you will be able to always make a rational and a correct decision in your life. And when you make rational and correct decisions in your life, you will be able to gain respect from others and will be able to create a proper path to your success. When you do both of these things, you will definitely become a better leader in your life. Today we discussed about mistakes and how we would learn from the mistakes and how to understand especially the limitations of our strengths and the real strengths, and through that how to develop a smart and a very attainable goal which will help all of us to do what we do at our best level. As you know, wherever you are, whatever you do, you may be a corporate executive in a private sector or a government servant or a student, even a housewife, no matter what type of work you do, no matter what type of challenge you are facing, it is simply possible to apply Buddhism to overcome all these challenges. That's the objective of this program, Aloka Dhamma discussion, to spread that reality across the globe. And as always, with great gratitude, I would thank both Venerable Sandalanka Kalandasana Thero and Venerable Gampa Sumanwasa Thero being here continuously throughout last year and even today, sharing their noble knowledge with all of us and all of you around the globe. And I hope you have learned something out of today's program as always. And blessings to all of you. Therwan Sarnai.